Welcome to Movie Recap, a channel dedicated to those addicted to movies. Our focus is to showcase the best recap of your favorite flick. Sit back, grab your popcorn, and get ready to be amazed by war. After his partner Tom Lone and his family are killed apparently by the infamous and elusive assassin Rogue, FBI agent John Crawford becomes obsessed with revenge as his world unravels into a vortex of guilt and betrayal. Rogue eventually resurfaces to settle a score of his own, setting off a bloody crime war between Asian mob rivals Chong of the Triads and Yakuza boss Shiro. When Jack and Rogue finally come face to face, the ultimate truth of their pasts will be revealed. Spoilers ahead. John Crawford is smoking cigarettes while Tom Lone is with him in a dock warehouse in San Francisco. Tom queries him as to his actions given that he doesn't typically smoke. He asks John if his wife Jenny knows, to which John responds that she doesn't and begs him not to tell her. Tom chuckles and claims he won't. Tom offers a toothpick, saying that it will help ward off the impulse to smoke. John simply chuckles and discards the toothpick. Behind them, they can hear a sound. How many shooters did John count? Tom queries John. John offers a 5 or 6. The Chinese triads are located in the same warehouse. John begins to gripe, claiming that they have both lost 2 years of work as a result. Tom invites John to have a look after hearing another sound. As long as it's only a look, John responds, he'll leave. The two then head to the harbor after reloading their weapons, a shotgun for John and a pistol for Tom. Before entering the cabin door, they carefully make their way inside, scanning every nook and cranny. John discovers a bullet casing on the ground that bears the assassin Rogue's marks. Tom ignores John's attempts to warn him because he has already entered the harbor building and encountered the Chinese triads. Before heading in, Tom expertly kills a number of people as they begin exchanging gunfire. When John notices that Tom has begun shooting, he rushes into the fray since he knows he can't leave his companion behind. At the harbor, the two display their prowess as shooters by killing numerous civilians. He is simply moving forward obstinately while holding his shotgun in front of him, ready to fire if anyone approaches from behind. He ends up killing a lot of people along with Tom as a result. Tom approaches John after the gunfire to see how he is doing, and John responds that he is alright. Rogue has since fallen into the water. John accepts Tom's hand and asks if he has them. Tom responds that he shot the man in the face and that he is now dead. John continues by saying that there are many people in the world who think they killed the man. Tom claims that it appears John knew the individual, and John claims that the Yakuza had recruited an independent contractor, who was supposedly the best, to deal with the triads. He adds that the CIA also employed him, that the man in question is a myth, and that the rumor that he had murdered his handlers was untrue. He shows him the symbol on a bullet casing that he picked up earlier. Before the police show up, the two continue talking. The two reveal their badges despite the police asking them to remain still. Tom gets a call from John a few days later while he is at home. When Tom's wife answers the phone, she asks him to hold it while she hands the phone to Tom. She urges Tom to remind John that he must not smoke in front of the children before giving him the phone, and she assumes he has given up smoking. Tom then picks up the phone, and John begins to speak with him. However, in the middle of their chat, John's wife cuts him off and takes away his cigarette. She then picks up her daughter and the two head out shopping. The case is then discussed by Tom and John. John finds out that Rogue's body was never found. John is also told by Tom that Rogue's corpse has been eaten. Rogue is believed to be dead. John ends his conversation with Tom and hangs up the phone. After that, he informs his wife that they must go get some steaks. John intends to go to Tom's residence with his family. Rogue is revealed to be still alive, which is unfortunate. He enters the building while Tom is in the bathroom and starts beating his wife. Hearing her screams, Tom comes out but is shot by Rogue, who then throws him through a door. He falls inside and sees that his wife is hugging his daughter, and they are screaming for their lives. Rogue first puts a gun to Tom's head, but then he points the gun at his family and fires 2 shots. Rogue then sets fire to the home and leaves. John is asleep in the car when he is woken up by his wife who sounds worried. There is a lot of police outside Tom's house. The home appears to have been set on fire. A police officer tries to stop John as he runs out of the car and begins to go toward the house, but when John displays his badge, the officer lets him pass. The officer then informs him that there have been 3 fatalities, with a woman, a child, and a guy being the first 2. When John opens one of the body bags, he is shocked by what he sees. He begins to struggle for air before looking at his wife, who also appears to be crying. John enters Tom's burned-out home and begins searching for any hints. He finds shells, Rogue's weapon. A cop informs him that CSI must investigate the scene as soon as they detect the shells and that they must complete their duty. When John opens his fist and steps outdoors, he puts on his glasses and pulls out a bullet casing bearing the Rogue's emblem. A short while later, a man is seen driving a sports car to a club and being let in right away. The unknown man passes past the crowd as they continue to dance inside. A few triad members can be seen watching this through their cameras as the man slashes the guards' necks and enters the club's secret area. A man being led by a prostitute is being followed by him. A prostitute exits a side room crying and carrying her clothing. As his men carry on gambling, a triad's member exits the room and sits on a chair in the middle of the space. The mysterious man enters a room where the man he is pursuing is having sex with the prostitute as the girl runs past him. As the prostitute screams, he shoots the man in the head. All of the gang members grab their weapons when they hear the gunshot and begin to search for the cause of the disturbance. The triad boss orders his canines to find the man when suddenly one of their cameras goes off. They squeal, and then there is silence. The gang members then begin firing at the man as he comes around the corner. The boss sends one of his goons to check, believing he is dead, but when the goon doesn't come back, the boss calls for him. One of his dogs comes around the corner this time, though, and lies down next to him. He has a bomb tied to his neck, which detonates and kills everyone in the room, as it turns out. The triad member is later seen approaching Rogue, who shoots him when he asks why he betrayed him. John vows to kill Rogue in retaliation for his friend's death. In San Francisco, Rogue, for no apparent reason, starts a fight between the triads and the Yakuzas. When Rogue murders his son-like man in the triads, he gives the impression that the Yakuza are responsible by pretending to be working for the local mafia Chan. He then tells the man's brother about a man working for Shiro and directs him to a tea shop. When John learns that Rogue underwent plastic surgery to change his appearance, he hunts out the doctor who carried out the treatment and learns that he is currently Victor Shaw. Thanks to his watchman, John is able to see pictures of Rogue killing Shiro's assassins and helping Chang's wife and daughter into a car. He gives Shiro these pictures after Rogue uses 2 expensive gold horse statues from Japan to entice Shiro to San Francisco. To find out where Chang's wife and children are kept, Shiro orders his men to torture Rogue. However, Rogue escapes and kills Shiro's men before detonating the explosive he had put in the second suitcase, killing almost everyone but Shiro. He chooses to use a sword to cut down Shiro. Shiro also grabs a sword. Rogue reveals that he is acting in this way because Shiro ordered a killing when Shiro questions why he is. Which of the many instructions called for the murder of Tom Lone and his family, Shiro wonders. He shouldn't have given the order to slaughter the ladies and kids. Rogue is instantly recognized by Shiro as Tom Lone. Tom's family was murdered by Rogue, but he was able to get revenge. After killing Rogue, Tom received plastic surgery and started acting like him. Tom went back to San Francisco 3 years after Rogue and his family had been killed in order to take out Shiro's enemies, henchmen, and Shiro himself. Tom intended to kill Shiro last in order to get revenge for the death of his family. The mob eventually loses a battle that Rogue starts, which reveals yet another terrible truth: everything that happened was caused by John's negligence. Chang's wife receives a package with the original gold horse statue and a note from Rogue that reads, "Make a new life." The same message is sent to Shiro's daughter, who has returned to Japan, along with a bag containing Shiro's head. John sends a sniper to the site so that he can kill Rogue when he summons him to a meeting at their first known meeting place. When Rogue and John meet face to face, Rogue reveals that he is Tom Lone after a fierce battle. John apologizes and asks if Tom will ever be able to forgive him after recognizing Tom's look. Tom decides to go by the name Rogue. When the FBI agent tasked with shooting Rogue attempts to do so, John moves in front of him. Rogue receives an apology from John, but she rejects it. We really hope you enjoyed today's recap of War. Please leave a comment below on what you loved about the movie and why. Be sure to like the video and please don't forget to support our channel by subscribing so you don't miss any amazing content. Until next time, lights, camera, action. We look forward to seeing you in our next video.